Are you somebody wanting to know exactly how to be able to get inside the dispatching industry? Well, I've searched a long time to be able to find you guys somebody that will be able to actually show you exactly how to be able to do this. But up on my search, everybody, I was searching, trying to be able to find the best person to be able to show you guys exactly how to be able to get inside the dispatching industry and make the most money out of the industry. But unfortunately, I failed after failure after failure after failure, and it was pretty much hard to find somebody that was the best person to be able to teach you guys how to be able to get inside the industry. I ended up finding one person to be able to do it, but I had to be able to counsel it out. I said, hey, listen, it's not gonna give the people the best experience. I wanna be able to find the best person inside of the field that actually came from the mud, from the ground up, dug themselves out of that mud, and they were able to come financially free with their business. Not only that, they're teaching people exactly how to be able to get inside the dispatching industry, step by step, the pros and cons, everything you need to know is gonna be inside this video. So no other than my guy, Lorenzo, with Roam Freely Dispatching, you guys. He's about to get ready to go ahead and go through it with this video, and he's about to get ready to take you guys through exactly how to be able to get inside the dispatching company, step by step. What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Kai Gibson, aka Rick Secrets. And today, y'all, we got a real special guest up on this video today, you guys. You know, just to bring you guys a background of both of us, we actually met at a major event probably about a year ago. And we were talking a little bit, we were chopping it up and everything like that. And I was just so inspired by, you know, what he's been through and where he's at now. So where he's came from and where he's at now inside of the trucking industry. So I want to just get a little bit of where he came from also and spread it out to you guys, and also let you guys know exactly how you can get inside the trucking industry. When we get into detail about these things like this, I want to be able to bring the best people on that you guys can actually learn and listen from inside this industry. And I'm happy to introduce my guy, Lorenzo from Roam Freely Trucking Service. You guys, how you feeling, my guy?
Feeling great, bro. Blessed to be here, man. I even appreciate you for allowing me to come on right now.
Yeah, right? Yeah, no problem, no problem. You know, it's a lot of people that actually want to be able to know about the transportation industry, but they don't know the first step. You know what I mean? They just like me. I don't know anything about the trucking service or anything like that. So it's like, you know, where do they start? You know what I mean? So it's just kind of like, you know, those stepping stones that not a lot of people know, and it actually holds them back. Like the first, just when they think about the trucking service, oh, I got to be able to do this, and that. They not thinking about the first step. They thinking about everything that come with the transportation.
Everything that come with it, man.
Yeah. So I just want to get a brief background before we go on all that. You know, the people got to be able to know your story. You know what I mean? That's so they can know exactly where you came from and you know exactly why you doing what you're doing right now. You know, so can you give us just a little slight background of you?
For sure. Right. So for starters, as you mentioned, my name is Lorenzo, the owner of Roam Freely Logistics. Our model here at Roam Freely is, you know, we provide the opportunity for all our partners, which is our clients, right, to roam and worry free, right, in the trucking industry. So for starters, I started out, so for background, I never had a CDL before, right? Yeah. I learned about the industry because I went downtown to try to actually get a truck. My wife was like, baby, I know a dude, you know, he make mad money, he drive trucks. So I'm sitting there thinking like, damn, she must not think I make enough money or something. So, right, so you know, you put your projects on, man, let me go down here real quick. Let me study this permit test. So I go downtown, take my permit test. I'm hyped up, right? Studied everything. Go down there. They're like, yeah, your license suspended. So I can't even allow you to take the test.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? You know, like, so, right, this goes to show you I'm a regular person like everybody else, you know, shit happens. You know what I'm saying? So, boom. So I'm like, damn. So I come back to the crib. I ain't even say nothing to her. I'm like, yeah. How'd it go? She's like, how'd it go, man? I'm like, shit, I ain't even make it. I ain't make it. Yeah. So I started listening to a podcast called Truck and Hustle. First, actually, I listened to Black Wealth Renaissance, and then somebody came on. They started talking about the trucking industry and dispatching, and then they referred Truck and Hustle. Shout out to both of them, Black Wealth Renaissance and Truck and Hustle, right? So I start diving deep, listening to Ramel, and you know he go heavy into the industry. He tell you all this hidden gems. He pulls the secrets out of the people that's out of the host. Yeah. So I'm listening. It's a dude. He was saying he was a waiter. And he went to the bathroom real quick. He booked 2 loads, came back out. I believe he said he made like $250 in a 10-minute span from booking 2 loads, and came back out and busted the table down. There was like a $15 tip or something like that on the table. And he was like, yeah, this ain't it. so then so from that point forward, I started looking into this thing called freight dispatching, right? And then I got the industry terminology, right? I studied everything from YouTube University, and then from there I paid for a couple courses.
YouTube University.
Paid for a couple courses. I got me a mentor, and shit, we just been up from there, man. So I started off as a janitor.
So you started off a janitor. Okay, I was about to get to ask you what would probably be that turning point inside of your life that really made you like, I can't do this anymore. I gotta do something else. Like, what was that point exactly? What would you say that point inside of your life was?
In all honesty, it was like so shit, like I say, I'm a regular dude. I'm originally from New York, moved to North Carolina. Raised with my grandmother, right? Moved down here, single father for about 4 years till I met my wife. And just really personal development, right? Just really big on change your mindset, right? People always say, your mind is a terrible thing to waste, right? As a kid, you never really understand what they mean by that, right? So diving deep into books, and they always say, if you want to keep something away from somebody, put it in a book, right? Yep. So I started reading. My first book, I believe it was Steve Harvey book. It was Jump. It was Jump or Leap, something like that.
Yeah, I forgot what it's called too. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so I started listening. It was an audiobook, so I was listening to it while I was getting my trash up in my in my janitor's rooms, buffing and waxing floors. We listened to that thing, and just changed my mindset. Then I started reading. I read Rich Dad Poor Dad, right? He talked about the 4 quadrants and all that good stuff, right? And just personal development, man. So from there, that's when I started diving into podcasts. So instead of me listening,
you really started going in on learning.
Yeah, instead of me listening
to music, to change the position you were in.
Instead of me listening to music, I started listening to podcasts, right? I started tuning out the things that didn't need to be in my ears and started tuning in the things that did need to be in my ears, right?
Wow.
And then, it was another book. It was pretty much saying, like, you got to have the burning desire, right?
Yeah, so you really came from being a janitor. How much did you make as a janitor?
Oh, man, for real, shit. I believe about $12 an hour.
Yeah, so okay, $12 an hour as a janitor. You went from that to over making like $30,000 a month, right? So that's a different mindset to be able to shift. You know what I mean? To making $12 an hour. That's not something that's easy. You know what I mean? But the good thing is inside of her, like, you giving the people that are in that same position that didn't have hope at all, just like, man, I'm down low right now. You know what I mean? You giving them that transition, that motivation to transition over, so I appreciate you for dropping your story and just giving people insights exactly where you came from and, just where you're at right now. So for my people that are watching, right, they don't know a single thing about the trucking industry at all, not one single thing. What would be the best thing for them to get started on? What's that first step for them to be able to really go out and do?
So first, it all depends on which way you want to enter the industry, right? So like, as I mentioned before, I started out knowing nothing about it, right? I thought I was going to be a driver, right? Didn't get my license. Started learning about the freight dispatching. I piqued interest in it. And then I started my company in 2020. I started doing, Perkin getting hung up on all the time, calling, asking questions, right? When you do your research and you're speaking to people, they're going to tell you the things that you need to know about that specific industry, right? They're going to let you know your mistakes because they're going to hang up on you, right? So as far as dispatching goes, start calling different brokers online, right?
Yeah.
On the load board, start calling different brokers and asking them silly questions like, what's the rate on this load, right? What's the commodity? So as I mentioned, it all depends. If you want to go out here and get a truck, if you're a driver, you want to go out and get a truck, go get a truck, right? Be an owner operator, work for yourself, right? But as far as
what would you say? I'm not trying to cut you off. What would you say trucks to avoid? Like, if you're a beginner, you know what I mean? What if you're getting inside of the industry, what would something to avoid to make sure you don't make mistakes?
So now if you want to get into the freight dispatching, the first thing you want to do is get the proper industry terminology, right? Get the lingo, because you want to know these specific equipment types. You want to know you want to know how to rate negotiate, right? You want to know the good lanes to run your trucks in, right?
So y'all want to make sure y'all get out y'all pen and pads and make sure y'all writing this information down, y'all.
For sure. You want to make sure that your customer service is there, right? Now this is an industry where you could be yourself. You don't have to be, all perked up to be the best person, you know what I mean? But of course, just be yourself. It'll carry you a long way. The main thing is, truthfully, build relationships. That's just like anything in life. You want to build relationships, right?
Mm-hmm.
Have great rapport. If you're starting to dispatch your units and your drivers are late, communicate with the shipper and the receiver. Let them know, hey, look, my driver's stuck in traffic. You know, his ETA is yada yada yada. Are you still going to be able to receive him? If not, cool. What's the best time I can reach him tomorrow? You know what I'm saying? So it's
Yeah.
just having good customer service and good communication skills, man. Effective communication skills will take you a long way in this industry.
Definitely. I definitely understand that, man. Customer service definitely can get you somewhere that, you know what I mean, the money can't. It's gonna definitely bring you more money. You
Something
know, the
so
more you
simple, man.
serve people and the more you focus on serving those people, the more you'll actually see that, you know, it'll reciprocate like back to you. You know what I
Right.
mean? The
To
more
add
that you're
value,
actually
man.
planning on serving.
And that's my main thing. I like to say I add value first. I worry about me on the back end. As
Mm-hmm.
long as I add value to whoever it is, I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna be okay on the hindsight of that. You get what I'm saying?
Okay, so what was the we already went over the breaking point with you, and we went over kind of like where they really want to be able to start from. But from you said you started in 2022. I mean, you started in 2020, right?
Yep.
From there, how did you really maximize your company? How did you start growing to that point? Because we know you started at something before you got to $30,000.
Right.
So how did you really maximize what you're doing right now? Right. So what was the best thing that you applied to be able to bring you more money and more customers, really? I know we spoke about customer service, that's one of them, but what did you really do to be able to, you know, just really enhance your income when it comes to that business?
Studying the industry, right? Studying the industry.
Mm-hmm.
Being up to date with the fuel, increases on the fuel, right? Because that'll help you negotiate rates better. Knowing how to really navigate the low boards, right? And really having the low boards in mind to start before you, because that's where you're going to build all your relationships is off the low board, right? The goal is to get off of the low board though, right? So you get your trucks, right? Step one, first, after you get the industry terminology, right? You got to go ahead and market the carriers that need dispatching a truck, right? And after you get your carrier, that's going to allow you to dispatch their truck, right?
Yep.
You send them over your dispatch carrier agreement, okay? And now you figure out what lanes it is that they like to run in, okay?
Yeah.
And then you want to know the compliance. You want to know who regulates the industry, right? Which is the FMCSA, okay? And then you want to know the driver's hours of service. So all this goes hand in hand, right? Because drivers can only be on duty for 14 hours. Exactly. And 11 of that is drive time.
Okay. So when it comes to the industry, right? If I'm somebody that's about to get ready to jump into it, right? I'm about to get ready to go ahead and learn. I'm about to get ready to do everything it takes. But it is risk that comes with the business. Now, we're not trying to scare anybody away, but at the same time, you know, you've been through a hell of a lot of experience so far. So you've already been through a lot of mistakes. Money didn't hit you to where it hit negative. You know what I mean? What should be a big risk that they should look out for that they shouldn't make inside of the industry? Like something that can really, everything is going good inside the business, but you're not looking out for this specific thing, and it's able to hurt your business very, very much.
You gotta always, when you're dealing with your partners, right? You want to always make sure that every time you deal with them, you leave the best impression, because you're not just you want to keep them as a partner. You don't want to lose them because you're scaling too quickly, right? Because when you scale too quickly, you want to have a certain procedures in place to where you can actually maintain their performance, right? Because their revenue means a lot. You get what I'm saying? So not only are you just worrying about yourself, you got the owner of the company. If he's not the driver, his family is depending on the dispatcher to find the right loads. And then you also have the driver. If he's not the owner of the company, his family's depending on him to make money. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I like to look at the dispatcher as a quarterback. We're the quarterback, the driver's the receiver. He can go touch it down every time. You get what I'm saying?
Okay. Is there any way that you would be able to give like advice inside of here on what would be the best way to I don't want to say automate the business at all, but what would be their best steps to be able to kind of get themselves into the industry to where the dispatching industry to where they're like set, they can quit their job, right? They're working a job right now and they're starting to go through the learning process of learning how to be able to you know what I'm saying, dispatch the trucks, go out and get I'm just going to say vendors, okay? Because like I said, I don't know the trucking industry, but I'm just going to say vendors. Go out and get the vendors, you know what I mean? Who should they exactly be searching for, right? So like I'm inside of your industry, right? you have the Ricky Dink people, you have the Chuck in the trucks, and then you have the people that's actually going to build and continue to have relationship with you. You know what I mean? Is that really based off of certain companies, or is that you know, I'm trying to really be in detail with the question, right?
Yeah, so I get what you're saying. I'll go ahead and chop it up for you. So pretty much, boom. So number one, after you get the industry terminology and you get your knowledge on the industry, right? You go out here, you find you a carrier, right? And the carrier is the actual is a trucking company that you're going to be dispatching for, because you're going to be an independent dispatcher. Okay. So now, if that carrier has 5 trucks, he's going to solely depend on you as a dispatcher to keep all 5 of those trucks moving at least 5 days of the week, because they have a 60, 70 hour clock that they need to run, right? So now you got these 5 trucks that you're dispatching for every day. Okay. Say you're charging them 10%, right? Each truck, so now you're booking these loads for these trucks off of the load board. Okay. Each truck is going to say, let's say each truck, it does $7,500 a week, right? Let me get my calculator out real quick. All right. So $7,500 a week.
Yeah.
You're charging 10%. Okay. That's $750 for one truck that you're getting that week. Right? You times that by 5, because you got 5 trucks that's doing that. That's $3,750 that you're getting in 1 week. Okay.
Doing them numbers, y'all. He doing them numbers.
So now you times that by 4. It's 4 weeks. That's for the month. That's 15 grand you just made in that month.
Yeah.
Granted, we working the job 12, 15, even $20 an hour. You probably bring home $4 grand a month.
Yeah. See what you just got done doing right there, adding up the whole exactly what you'll be able to make if you put these things in place. That's when the majority of people kind of go wrong, because they just not, the people that's out in the world that's actually making, they're making $500 a week. The only problem is they just not aware of how to make $50,000 a week. You feel what I'm saying? Because they're not doing simple things like you just got done doing, adding up exactly how they'll be able to make it. So when you guys are going inside of the dispatching industry, you want to make sure that you are adding up everything that you are going to, your projected income. How am I going to be able to get myself here? As you guys just got done seeing Lorenzo do. And that's a very important thing, I'm pretty sure, inside of your industry. Your money will go, you don't see how your money coming in, you know what I mean?
Right. But it all starts off adding good value to the carrier, because if that truck's not making no money. So as they say in the industry, if those wheels aren't turning, you're not earning. So if that truck's not making any money, then you're not going to be able to see any revenue, right? So that goes to really understanding the industry. And of course, you're going to burn your hand a couple of times and make mistakes, but that's where you learn from. Right. So you're going to learn from your mistakes. However, you want to make sure you don't make that mistake again, because it could be, because your business reputation is a lot in this industry, right? Yeah. You don't need anybody bad mouthing you, or because you want to be able to, like I said, you want to be able to retain clients. You don't want to keep them like a revolving door. You want to keep them coming in.
Exactly.
Referrals, right? That's how you're going to scale more too, because they'll go out here. But you got to think about it. Truckers are talking to truck drivers all day long. They're stopping at truck stops at least once or twice a day. Yeah. Right. And they shower. Hey, who dispatching your truck? If they're a small fleet or owner operator, hey, who's dispatching your truck? Man, I got a banging dispatcher. You know what I mean? That's a referral, right? And other truckers know other truckers. They got other partners that they work with. Hey, look, reach out to him. So your business reputation means a lot. So you want to really get the industry knowledge and the terminology that you need and the experience, man, because that's going to take you a long way.
Okay, well, I appreciate that, Lorenzo, man. We're gonna leave this call off with you giving them a tip. I want you to really be able to give them a tip inside if they decide to be able to join the industry, right?
Sure.
What's a good tip for them just to be able to make some more money inside the industry? Like, what's a good hack that they'll be able to make a lot of money, and also just give them a little bit of motivation in and off with the call? Just, you know what I mean, so far as your industry. You know what I mean?
So I'm gonna tell you, right? So as you said, my backstory, right? I won't always making 30, 15, 25, 30K a month, right? Mm-hmm. So it was probably times I was probably making $1,500 a month, right? Yeah. But you got to bet on yourself, though, right? That's the thing that separates the overachievers to the basics. You know what I'm saying? Bet on yourself. Now, you got to continue to be a student. Always be a student of the game. Don't ever be complacent. Don't ever think that you know enough. You know what I'm saying? Continue to be a student, because once you get comfortable, you start getting lax. You know what I'm saying? If you ever went from making 20K to drop back down and making 2-3K a month, you're gonna tighten up.
Yeah. You definitely
tighten up. You know what I mean? And I can say that from experience. You get what I'm saying? Yep. So, and that's just, you get somebody never had none, they go crazy.
Yeah.
But after you make that mistake, then you learn from that mistake and keep going. So with that being said, make sure you guys get out here and you follow the right people. And don't just think everything's a scam. Right? You know, because it is possible. You can really go out here and really grow your lifestyle, right? You can create generational wealth. And don't just stop at a thing that made you the most money. Use that as a money machine to fuel whatever other dreams you have.
Yeah, definitely good advice. Definitely good advice. Well, man, Lorenzo, I'm glad for having you on. You know what I mean? You dropped a lot of gems inside of her for the people that actually want to be able to get inside the dispatching industry. You know what I mean? And you really, I'm pretty sure, motivated a lot of people that hopefully that are watching this video were in your same position or in similar to that position. And now they have the motivation to be able to change their direction because of somebody like you right now that was not in the position that you are in right now, and you still even elevate. You know what I mean? The position you are in now, we might be having another video a year later, and you're in a whole another different position. So, you know, definitely being able
to just stop. Don't just stop. You know what I mean? When you think that like I said, we did 6 figures in our last 7 months of the year when we first started. Right? This year followed up. This year we did pretty much the same, a little bit more. Right? So you want to continue to scale your company and put the right procedures in place for you to scale successfully. And don't be discouraged by the dips, right? It's going to go up, it's going to come down, it's going to go up, it's going to come down. But you keep consistency, right? Consistency is key in anything.
But that's why it's actually good to have somebody like you by their side. See, one thing that I learned, you guys, is that a mentor is going to be able to stop those hurdles and those mistakes that you'll be able to make. Because see, listen, a lot of people, they can take the stairs by all means, right? You can take the stairs, you can take the long way out, or you can end up getting somebody that actually is guiding you, or you have a helping hand by, and you can take that elevator. You feel what I'm saying? So if you somebody that actually want to be able to get inside the dispatching industry and you don't know a single thing, and you knowing that you need help, you knowing that you need that guiding hand, you're not just a do-it-yourself type of person. That ain't gonna be no problem, y'all. Okay. You can definitely get expertise from this guy right here. I'll have the link inside the description for you guys to tap in with him if you guys really want to be able to become an expert inside of this industry. Okay. Do you have anything you want to leave the people off with, Lorenzo?
If you guys want to reach out to me, you guys can follow me on at Roam Freely on Facebook, Roam Freely Logistics on IG, and we're gonna keep it moving.
All right, my guy. I appreciate you, Lorenzo, man. And until next time, man.